Most of us are worried today about COVID third wave and its probability of infecting children. What is the truth behind this? What is the scientific rationale behind this? Let us see in today's video. Hi friends, I am Dr. Karamat. This is Scientific Doctor channel. In this channel, every week a health related explanation is provided via a video. If you want to see such videos, kindly subscribe to this channel. Also, if you press the bell icon adjacent to the subscribe button, you will get instant notifications whenever new content is released. This week's video will focus on the COVID third wave, the possibility and the probability of this third wave affecting exclusively children or predominantly children, and how do we prevent all this. First of all, we must understand about the waves of a pandemic. A pandemic, a disease which can spread throughout the world or a large region of the world, is usually of respiratory in origin. That means these are spread by through coughing, sneezing, which affects the respiratory tract. So these pandemics, respiratory pandemics, like a flu, can spread to larger regions and these can come in waves. So why do these come in waves? Basically, before a majority of us can become immune to this new infection, more and more people are susceptible. Once more people are susceptible, transmission of this viruses is possible. So this can come in waves. Multiple waves are possible. Nothing can be predicted for certain because future is uncertain. But because of the previous knowledge what we have and based on the pattern of these viruses spread, we can predict. That's how this COVID becoming multiple waves has been predicted. So a third wave is most probable. Why do I say this? Because not all of us in this world today are immune to this infection, because we have all been not vaccinated and we have all been not infected. These are the only two mechanisms how you can get immunity from this infection. Either you have to get infected and develop immunity, or you have to get vaccinated and develop immunity. Because most of us still are not having immunity against this infection, the next wave is always possible. And we have to understand, if we give enough time for this virus before we all develop our immunity, this virus can change itself, can develop mutations and can become a new virus, a new variant that can escape immunity always. That's why the topmost priority today is to vaccinate most of the population in the shortest possible amount of time. Anyway, today we have not all been vaccinated or got infected, so we all don't have enough immunity. So a next wave is always possible. Bear in mind that the next wave need not be more severe than the previous wave, so it is not a cause for panic. But yes, third wave of COVID is most likely. What about the second prediction, that the children are going to be exclusively or predominantly being affected by the third wave? Where does this notion comes from? So we have to understand the scientific logic behind this is, because COVID affected more adults, or we saw the effects more in adults, and vaccination has been approved for in adults in majority of cases. No vaccine yet has been approved below 12 years of age. Even above 12 years of age, in country like India, still no vaccine is approved. We know yesterday a new vaccine has been approved, though the production and the supply, other logistic demands are yet to come into being. Again, this is only approved for use more than 12 years of age. Less than 12 years throughout the world, no vaccine has yet been approved for use. So all children below 12 years of age have not been vaccinated. Adults to varying degrees have been vaccinated. But remember, the truth is, even in the first and second wave, children were getting affected. Children were getting infected, to be precise. But the disease itself was less severe in children. So many children were not tested, even though they had very mild symptoms or no symptoms. They were not tested, even though the adults in the household developed more serious symptoms. They were tested, they were declared as positive. This is one facet. The other facet is children were getting less severe disease because of many scientific reasons, like the ACE receptor, which is the target for this virus, being less in number in children. Because of different immune responses, children were getting less affected. Roughly, even though the less than 12 years population is around 20% of the whole population, the number of infections found out in them were less than 2.5%. So yes, lesser number of children were getting infected and lesser number were identified. Why I say identified? Because when these serological studies are not done for testing individuals, these are done for larger population. When you assess the antibody levels in a population, the antibody levels were more or less similar when compared to adults, even in children. So that means children were also probably getting infected. They were not developing serious disease. Not to the tune of adults. Yes, some children were affected with serious enough disease to warrant admission, and even severer disease resulting in complications even in intensive care admissions. But the numbers were less. So because the children were less affected and they have not been vaccinated, the susceptible pool, that is the persons who have not yet developed immunity, they are more likely to get affected by the next wave. So by that logic, the susceptible pool will contain more children. So more children will be affected in the COVID third wave. That doesn't mean the third wave is going to be an exclusive pediatric or children only disease and adults are not going to be infected. Yes, still COVID is a disease which affects adults predominantly. Children will have milder disease. Because we have more children not developed immunity, so they are more likely to get COVID infection in the next wave, more than the first and second. That doesn't mean it is going to be only children. Still adults will predominate, but relatively more percentage of children might get infected. So that's a caveat we have to clearly understand. Okay, having understood all this, that children numbers might be more in the next wave, what do we do to prevent such infections in children? Whether in children or in adults, the prevention of COVID or flu or any respiratory infection will depend upon our respiratory hygiene. Now, how are we going to follow COVID appropriate behavior in public places? So even though children are still, majority of them are staying at home because schools have not yet opened or have not yet opened fully, we have to understand that adults who go out of the home for work, for other purposes, they will be the persons who are bringing these infections to the children. So whether it is the adult or the child who is going out, we still have to follow COVID appropriate behavior, especially in public places. Once the lockdowns are not in place, more public places are being opened and even the schools are gradually opening up, we have to understand what are the measures we are going to do to prevent infections. Avoid crowded places. Do not go out unless it is really warranted. When you are in a public place, follow COVID appropriate behavior, including social distancing and masks. So masks are the most important tool in prevention today. Even more than vaccination, especially in children, because they are not getting vaccinated. Now it is not important only to mask children. We have to understand once at home they are going to remove their mask. The adults who go out and probably don't wear mask, thinking that they have already been vaccinated or I have got COVID, so I am already immune, they can still bring the infection. We have to understand the COVID infection from COVID disease. COVID vaccination or even having COVID disease doesn't fully prevent you from getting infected again. COVID vaccination might prevent you from death, but you can still carry the infection and can transmit the infection. So if you think you are already vaccinated and you are immune to the disease, so I need not wear mask, but you can still carry the virus and can transmit to the unknowing children who are present at home. Whenever the adults who go out, they have to follow COVID appropriate behaviors still, even if you are previously infected, even if you are already vaccinated. The second most important point once the schools are open is whenever you have any child who has any respiratory signs like cough, cold, sneezing or fever, you have to either screen them or isolate them. Do not send them to school, because once schools are opened up, that is the place where transmission of infections among children especially is going to happen. So unless we prevent that from happening, it is very difficult to prevent the spread and transmission once the schools are open. So once the schools are open, we have to follow not only COVID appropriate behavior in public places, including the usage of mask, but also any symptomatic individual. We are usually in denial whenever some child or some person has got cold or cough. We think it is not COVID. It is okay. Hopefully it is not COVID. But still, you should not send them to public places, including schools, so that the risk of transmission to other children becomes less. And the other important thing is, since kids today cannot be vaccinated, vaccinate everyone around them. That is, if we all are vaccinated and we don't bring the infection to the children, they will also be prevented from getting the disease. So at the first available opportunity, try to vaccinate yourself till the vaccine for kids themselves are approved. And finally, we have to understand there are some myths floating around like flu vaccination preventing COVID infection. This is not true. Both are respiratory ailments affecting almost similarly the lungs, the respiratory tract, but a flu vaccination till date with no reasonable scientific evidence can prove that it prevents COVID infection. Flu vaccination will only prevent against flu infection, which is also a quite serious disease. So you can get flu vaccination for yourself or for your children for preventing flu or influenza, but not for COVID. And how long we have to follow this COVID appropriate behavior? The usage of masks, avoiding overcrowding, social distancing, all these things, till the risk or the threat of this COVID becoming a larger pandemic or its severity being still or newer variants emerging, till that time we have to follow all these behaviors and precautions. Hopefully, this would have cleared your doubts regarding COVID third wave and the probability of children being infected due to the COVID third wave. If you found this video useful, kindly share it among your friends and relatives. If you want to see such videos, subscribe to this channel. Till we meet again, bye.